Hi chess friends, today we are going to witness MBL's bishop sacrifice against Magnus. MBL plays with white, Magnus is black. MBL starts with e4, Magnus plays c5, knight f3, e6, Sicilian defense, d4, c pawn takes d4 pawn, knight takes d4 pawn, a6, controlling the b5 square, c4, knight f6, the reti variation, knight c3, queen c7, a3, b6, out of the opening book. Knight c6 would be the book continuation. Bishop d3 enables the short castle. Bishop b7. Magnus fianchettos his bishop. Castle on the king side. Bishop d6 threatens the h2 pawn. f4 blocks the h2 pawn and preparing e5, which will fork the knight and bishop. Bishop c5 avoids the forks and pins knight to king. Bishop e3 unpins the knight. Knight c6 puts more pressure on the d4 knight. Knight c2 moves it to safety. d6, queen d2, castle on the king side. Rook a e1, knight g4 puts more pressure on the e3 bishop. Bishop takes bishop, d pawn takes bishop, e5, rook a d8 pins the bishop to queen. Queen e2 unpins the bishop and attacks the knight. Knight h6 moves it to safety. Rook d1 adding extra protector to the bishop. Knight d4, knight takes knight, c pawn takes knight, knight e4, knight f5, rook f3, preparing rook h3, then both rook and bishop will target the h7 pawn. Bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, knight e3 attacks the rook. Bishop takes h7 pawn. Bishop sacrificed by MBL, which is a blunder. Best move is rook c1. Let's see the continuation. g6, b4, rook c8, c5. Game is well balanced. Back to the position. After bishop takes h7 pawn, if king h8, then rook h3. White will have discovery check and will win from here. So Magnus played the best move, that is king takes bishop. Rook h3 check. King g8. Queen h5 threatens queen h8 checkmate. f5 was played. It's a mistake. Best move is f6. Creates escape square for the king. Let's see the continuation. Queen h7 check. King f7. E pawn takes f6 pawn. Rook g8. Rook g3. King takes f6 pawn. Black has an extra knight and a nice passed pawn on d file. Black is winning. Back to the position. f5 reduces black's advantage and makes the game equal. Queen h7 check. King f7. Rook h6. The rook cannot be taken as the g pawn is pinned to the king. Queen takes c4 pawn was played. Blunder by Magnus. Best move is knight g4, queen g6 check, king g8, queen h7 check, king f7, queen g6 check, king g8, and the game will be drawn by threefold repetition. Back to the position. or any other move like knight takes rook or king e8 or king e7 or queen d7 or rook d e8 makes the game even, but Magnus played queen takes c4 pawn. The problem with queen takes c4 pawn is that after queen moves from the 7th rank, g pawn is unprotected. Pause the video and find the best move played by MVL. After some moves, Magnus resigned. Compliments on finding the move. The move is rook f6 check. The g pawn cannot take the rook as it's pinned to the king. King e8. Queen takes g7 pawn. Threatens checkmate by rook takes rook on f8. Magnus resigned. Pause the video and find out why Magnus resigned. Compliments on finding it. Let's see it now. Rook takes rook. E pawn takes rook. Knight d5. f7 check. King d7. F pawn promotes to queen with check. MVL will have 2 queens. Even Magnus cannot defend against 2 queens. So Magnus resigned. If you like the video, share, subscribe and like. Thank you. Now it's puzzle time. Wait to play and win. Post your solutions in the comment section.